Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan. The forbidden flame that refused to die. Top facts exclusive from the very beginning. The world raised its brows. It wasn't just the age gap. It wasn't just the tangled family trees. It was something much deeper. An undeniable connection that seemed too bold, too unbothered, too unreal. But for Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan, every whisper, every side-eye, and every tabloid headline only poured gasoline on the fire. Their story didn't tiptoe into the public eye. It kicked the door wide open, when Larsa, once famously married to NBA legend Scottie Pippen, was first seen with Marcus Jordan, yes, the Marcus, son of Scottie's longtime Chicago Bulls teammate and supposed rival Michael Jordan. It didn't take long for social media to explode. The mere idea of those two worlds colliding felt like a pop culture paradox. Michael and Scottie? Legends turned bitter co-stars in a dynasty drama. Larsa and Marcus? A couple caught in the crosshairs of legacy, betrayal, and something no one could ignore. Fiery electric attraction. But what looked like a flirty rebound to some turned out to be a romance no one saw coming. And no one could stop watching. Insiders close to Larsa whispered that Marcus brought out a side of her that had been buried under years of expectation and image control. With him, she wasn't just a real housewife or a Pippen ex. She was playful, uninhibited, and endlessly amused by how bold they both were willing to be. Marcus, usually low-key, suddenly found himself the center of attention. But for once, it wasn't because of his last name. It was because of them, a pairing that somehow felt rebellious and glamorous all at once. Their chemistry? Let's just say it didn't try to hide. From tropical getaways with barely their swimwear to late-night date strolls caught by paparazzi, the two made headlines for more than their connections. It was how they looked at each other. Like they knew exactly what the world was saying and still didn't care. There was a sense of ownership in the way Larsa leaned into Marcus, and a hint of triumph in his grin whenever they stepped out hand in hand. Some insiders claimed the spark started long before the cameras caught it. Rumors flew that they'd been dancing around each other for months, playing a quiet game of will they, won't they, until the tension became too thick to ignore. Allegedly, it was a whispered flirtation at a private Miami event that broke the seal. He brushed against her shoulder, and she didn't move away. After that, nothing was the same. But the fire wasn't just romantic. It was controversial in all the right and wrong ways. Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan's relationship had already soured publicly, thanks to the Last Dance documentary and years of unresolved tension. So when Scottie's ex-wife stepped out with Michael's son, it felt less like coincidence and more like a plot twist no one was ready for. People began speculating motives. Was it revenge? A silent dig? Or just two people who genuinely didn't care what history had to say? Larsa remained unbothered. She told the press they were just friends for months. But behind the scenes, those friendly encounters were heating up. Close sources hinted at secret vacations, romantic gifts, and long, late-night phone calls that turned playful fast. Marcus wasn't just a boy with a famous dad. He was confident, charming, and unafraid to challenge Larsa in ways others hadn't. And Larsa? She knew exactly what she wanted, and this time she wasn't apologizing for it. Publicly, they became more open. They started appearing on each other's social media, adding fuel to the already raging gossip fire. From coordinating outfits to flirty captions, fans couldn't decide if it was love or a masterclass in trolling. Either way, it worked. The internet couldn't look away. One moment, Marcus posted a snap of them sharing a drink at sunset. Another, Larsa dropped a selfie with a caption that read like a private message. You already know what it is. And just like that, the rumor mill spun out of control again. But here's where it gets deeper. According to sources close to them, what really bonded Larsa and Marcus wasn't the fame or the press. It was the way they escaped all of it when they were alone. In quiet corners of private suites, they weren't tabloid fodder. They were just two people who fit. He'd make her laugh so hard she forgot the cameras. She'd look at him like he was the only person who saw the real version of her. The one who wasn't curated, calculated, or captioned. Even their fights, when they happened, crackled with intensity. Passion wasn't something they turned off when things got tense. It was the very air they breathed. Some said it was toxic, others called it thrilling. One friend allegedly said being around them was like watching a forbidden movie. Unpredictable, daring, and impossible to pause. Then came the moment everyone was waiting for. The public kiss. Not a peck. Not a friendly hug. A real kiss in full view of paparazzi, as if they were daring the world to say something. And the world did. Headlines screamed. Social media split. But the couple? They smiled wider. Of course, the past haunted their love like a shadow. Scottie, silent for a while, finally let his disapproval slip in interviews. Michael reportedly shook his head at the idea of his son dating Larsa. But Marcus, now more confident than ever, refused to back down. He wasn't in his father's shadow anymore. He was writing his own story with Larsa at his side. They didn't always follow the rules. They skipped major events but threw wild private parties. They teased an engagement, then laughed it off in interviews. Larsa sparked buzz by wearing a massive ring. Marcus called her wifey more than once. Every move was a breadcrumb, and fans followed. Then came the whispers. Were they already married in secret? Did they have matching tattoos? Was there a baby on the way? None confirmed, but all deliciously speculative. The mystery only added to their allure. Through it all, Larsa remained unfazed. She was no stranger to controversy, but this time she wasn't dancing around it. She was owning it, step by step, hand in hand with the man who challenged everything the public thought they knew about her. And Marcus? He evolved. From being Michael's son to the man who made headlines on his own. Not for basketball. Not for his last name. But for choosing a love that defied legacy and logic. A love that looked wrong on paper but felt right in every stolen glance and every bold move. In a world where image is everything, theirs was a romance that refused to be edited. It was loud. It was real. It was beautifully complicated. They were Larsa and Marcus. Not the scandal. Not the drama. Just two people who found something magnetic and held on to it with both hands. Because sometimes, love doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for approval. It just happens, wild, controversial, and unforgettable. And when it does, the world can either watch or look away. But on Top Facts, we don't look away. We dive deeper. If you thought that was the end, think again. Their story is far from over. Rumors still swirl. The ring still glistens. And the world is still talking. Because this isn't just another celebrity couple. This is the fire that wasn't supposed to be lit. This is the spark that didn't burn out. This is Larsa and Marcus. And this is just the beginning. Stay tuned for more explosive celebrity love stories, only on Top Facts.